In this video, we will cover SSL decryption on the FortiGate firewall. Now before I begin, let me explain what this is, and it continues with what we just started from the last video. So SSL decryption is a feature that allows the firewall to decrypt a secure web page in order to inspect it against a configured security policy. This is a feature that is fairly common with other next generation firewalls, so it's nothing new, like the Cisco ASA with the CX security module or the Palo Alto Network security firewall. So how does this feature work exactly? So whenever a user accesses a secure website like PayPal.com, when that happens, the user will build a secure tunnel from their computer to that website for PayPal.com. Well, the firewall will proxy or hijack that secure tunnel, and it will do two things. One, it will build a secure tunnel between the user's computer and the firewall itself. And second, it will build or terminate a secure tunnel with the website, which is paypal.com, that the user was accessing. So the firewall in this case will decrypt that website, and it will do what is needed for the inspection that's configured with the policy. Now, what's important in this process is the certificate that is used with a website. So for a secure website, they will have a certificate installed from a trusted certificate authority, which means that their website is trusted on the internet. So using the SSL decryption process, the firewall will use the certificate from that intended website like paypal.com. However, the user will get a security warning because they are connected through the firewall, which is inspecting the secure tunnel without the user even knowing about it. It will use a certificate that is issued by the firewall itself. And that means that the user's computer does not trust that, and it will provide a security warning to the user. Therefore, we will need to import the certificate from the firewall into our user's web browsers so that we can trust any certificate that is issued from our firewall. Now, SSL decryption or inspection in terms of the FortiGate is enabled by default whenever web filter, application control, or antivirus is enabled. There is no way to turn this off. Therefore, in the last video, when we accessed twitter.com, we got a security warning. So let's go back to our user computer and let's access twitter.com again. Twitter.com. Okay, and as you can see, we get a security warning, but because the security level for this site is high, we are unable to continue normally. When we go to, let's say, facebook.com, once more, we get a security warning because we are accessing the secure page for Facebook, which is the default. And let's go to paypal.com. And we get a security warning because our firewall has intercepted the secure tunnel and has decrypted these pages for further inspection. Without it, it would not be able to block or filter these type of sites. Therefore, we need to trust the certificate from our firewall so our users don't receive the security warning pages when accessing secure websites. So let's go back to our firewall and let's begin this process. Before we do that, let's disable the web filter and SSL inspection profiles from our existing policy here. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off web filter and turn off SSL inspection, and let's apply our changes. When we go back to our user computer, and let's go back to a secure site like twitter.com. Here we are able to access the site without a security warning because we are receiving a certificate from twitter.com that is trusted on our computer, where before we were receiving a certificate from our FortiGate firewall, which was not trusted on our computer. Back in our firewall, let's go back to the feature page and let's go to features. And here we want to enable certificates that will allow us to manage and export certificates in our environment. So let's enable and let's apply the changes. Okay, so under System, let's now go to Certificates, which is now available to us, and let's go to Local Certificates. So this will show a list of default certificates on our FortiGate firewall. And one of them is the self-signed CA certificate that is used with the SSL inspection process on our firewall. We can create a new certificate, but we will use the default certificate provided here on our system. So let's download that certificate from our firewall, which we will import into our users' web browsers by selecting it and clicking on download. The details for setting up SSL inspection are found here when we go to Policy Objects and SSL Inspection. Here, there are several default profiles that we can use, such as the certificate inspection, which is shown here for this particular profile. But we will create a new profile that will be used in our environment.